Israel's Humanitarian Islands plan proposes turning Gaza into fragmented zones under tight Israeli control. Do you see this as a response to the humanitarian crisis, or rather a strategy to permanently dismantle Palestinian sovereignty?
Well, thank you, Mark, for having me. But let me start by saying that just like listening to the word humanitarian coming out of Israel after all what's been going on after the resumption of its vicious war beginning of March, it just sounds ridiculous because there is nothing humanitarian whatsoever about this. I mean, it's very obvious. Israel is, putting maximum pressure on Hamas in order to respond to its the request to release all Israeli living hostages held by the group, without actually any promises related to full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip or ending the war officially, as the original ceasefire agreement stated, the one that was signed a few days before Mr. Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump, came into office. But right now, we can openly and clearly state that this agreement does not exist anymore because all the details of this agreement has been disregarded. And unfortunately, this is happening while there is total American collusion and silence towards the crimes that Israel has been committed since the resumption of the war on March 1st. I mean, obviously, the report that was cited by Al Ahram Online is probably just another proposal confirming what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stated like a few days ago, saying we're not hiding it. We want to break down Hamas. They want them to surrender, give up their weapons, and then probably get deported to other countries. And after that, Israel will maintain full military control over the Gaza Strip in a manner that's not necessarily different from what existed before 2005. And at the same time, Mr. Netanyahu added that after getting this kind of military control, they will start the plan to voluntarily deport Palestinians from Gaza, according to the now infamous plan that was originally proposed by the U.S. President Donald Trump, although Trump himself has probably stopped speaking about it, I mean, in recent weeks, not as much as the situation was before. But right now, this plan is totally adopted by the Israelis. They have announced that they have an agency that's going to work on this voluntary displacement, that they have started asking the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence, to contact other countries that might be ready to accept having Palestinian refugees to their territories. But the problem, Mark, is that this is all happening at the massive expense of Palestinian blood. I mean, since Israel has resumed its war, we've been seeing an average of like maybe 50 to 100, and if not more, people getting killed, and a tremendous violation of any standard humanitarian standards, any laws of war of whatsoever. I mean, hitting hospitals again, hitting refugee camps, refugee buildings organized by the United Nations, and killing massive number of people, and including children, and including women. And there is no denial from the Israeli side that this is happening with a purpose, the purpose of breaking down Hamas, turning the local population against the group, and basically restoring Israeli military occupation on the Gaza Strip. Again, all this happening while the world is only watching, not even like, Mark, at one point of like, I'm a journalist covering Palestinian-Israeli cause for over 30 years, but in those kinds of conditions, at least we see UN Security Council meeting, some sort of serious appeals by the international community to Israel to refrain from what it's doing. I mean, this used even to happen under the former U.S. President Joe Biden. But right now, we're not seeing this. We're seeing a green light from the United States of America, providing them with weapons, all the weapons they need, over $8 billion in the last few weeks only.